Hi Mark, this is Fancy, and I'm looking at your color work at a really small reduced scale because I think when you look at it with reduced scale, you can see some things that are happening that you might not otherwise see. So I think your gradations are working better. Your vanishing boundaries are working better in a lot of areas. For example, it's pretty seamless going from your red family to your orange family. Um, Areas in the tints. It's getting better here, moving from your purple family to the blue family in those midtones. So reduce it down. You can see how the gradation really breaks here. So there's a big break here from you go right into these dark areas. So it makes it easy to see where you need to work on your gradation and make it smoother, make smoother transitions, right? Here it's kind of a big break. Maybe in here, kind of moving from those midtones to light tones. Lighter values, sorry, I'm calling it a tone and it's a value. Do not call it a tone, very sorry. So moving from your mid values to your light values. This is a little bit better. So keep working on the gradations. You're much better than what you were. Now another thing that you need to work on, I do see these interruptions. So very clearly I see the interruptions, but they're all on the perimeter of your composition. And I don't really see any light interruptions, so you should have dark interruptions, and you could have light interruptions to pull the eye back in here. So light interruptions that are the same shape as these. I know Linda talks a lot about figures on a ground, and so I guess there is a fine balance between whether or not they're so dark that they become a figure on a ground, or they're too light that they're not perceived as an interruption anymore. So think about that as well, and also think about maybe introducing some lighter interpenetrations in this darker area. Now at this reduced scale, you can also start to see where maybe your module starts to break into or start to form different kinds of shapes, or shapes that might attract too much attention to themselves. Like in this area, I start to see these just kind of pop out. So that would mean that you need to reduce the value contrast there so that they no longer become an issue. Maybe here, I start to see these, but I see these two little places a lot in this area. They start to kind of group together, yet we really don't notice them very much, maybe there. So they become kind of the secondary interruption that you probably don't want. You want your focus to be kind of on these, and also the lighter ones that you're going to add. Like I said, you can start to see where you have some kind of weird boundaries that are starting to form. So you want to kind of break those boundaries up and have them more diffused like you do in other areas. Trying to look at some other places that might be sticking out or drawing too much attention. Maybe this is kind of an odd shape. So you will find a right balance. You're almost there. Keep going. So work on the gradation. So again, you can see where you need to smooth out the gradation here, or middle values perhaps. It's too much of a break. This is kind of breaking kind of harshly too. See how this is a much kind of smoother gradation. And then as far as vanishing boundaries, I think they're working pretty good, especially in the light values. They really do transition well. It's probably in the middle values that they're not transitioning as well as they could, like here. Yellow to green. So you can work on making those a little bit smoother too. So I hope that helps. And again, if you don't hear from me within 48 hours, just keep emailing me. You don't even have to put in a message. Just send me a message with your name, and that's it. I'll know that I need to get cracking.